All right, spring 2023, kicking it off. So today we're going to be showing you how to drain your above ground pool cover. This is a Coleman 18 foot by 48 inch deep above ground pool. This was a COVID purchase. I'd actually recorded this video earlier and realized that I left out a little bit of useful context and didn't really feel like going back and trying to edit it. So what I'm going to do is just re-record the process, what I'm doing here. You can see some of the water's already been drained out. Pretty clear inside. I did lose a little bit of water. I left last couple seasons, I've left the hoses on the A and the B outlets on, and they cracked. I was actually out golfing one day, and my wife called me up and said, "Oh my God, the pool is leaking." And I'm thinking it's a hole, but come home to find out that it was actually just the hose. So a couple things that you'll need, and I am going to do a broader review on this pool and my thoughts over the last 3 years. I think it's worked out pretty well for our family. But a couple things you're going to need. You're going to need some string. You're going to need a wet dry vac. Obviously, we're going to be using this for wet, so which means you're going to need to remove the bag, your hose, and what I have on the end of this hose tied on is a 16 ounce fishing weight. So let me throw this back in real quick. Okay, so for the fun part now, with the wet dry vac, so you actually don't need these to connect, okay? They're not gonna connect, you see? Okay, because they're not the same size. But all we need to do is actually just create a little bit of suction, right, with the dry vac, with the wet vac, and it's gonna get the water flowing. Now, I'd watched a bunch of reviews, guys tying rocks to it, and just did not work out well. Watch guys putting the hose underwater. So what we'll do is we'll get this going here, okay? Pull. What we're going to do is we're going to pull this off the ladder. Okay. So what we had to do was we just had to pull this off the ladder a little bit. You'll notice there's a lot of leaves coming out. Oh yeah. And if the leaves become a problem, all you have to do is get the wet vac again, create a little bit of suction, and let it flow out. So I'm hanging this over the ladder right now, okay? And we're just gonna let this drain. We'll come back and we'll check it out in a bit. So right now it's looks like it's flowing pretty good, actually. It's gonna get a little wet back here. I want to try to keep it in the wooded area, but yeah, I mean, that's really it, guys. Like I said, I've watched guys trying to get the hose in the water just a certain way to start the suction, and I watched guys tying rocks to it, and honestly it was all just super inefficient. So I got smart, bought a fishing weight, found one that I thought would keep the hose underwater, which it does. And yeah, we'll come back, we'll check this out in a couple hours, see if it's drained. And what I'll also be doing is giving you guys a couple tips and tricks on opening the pool. I have a upgraded pump and filter that I bought. I think it's an Intex 2663 EG sand filter. I did not use the sand. I've been done with the sand, and using filter balls, which I found to work pretty well the last couple years. So I'll do a little review on that because I think a lot of people have questions about it. So we'll come back soon.